October 26th, 2018. That was my birthday. That was the last time I talked to my sister. It was right after the second. It was right. It was the day after the second to last game, and I remember going to practice and coming home, and I was playing video games. And she walked to my door, knocked on my door, and said, "Hey, Dustin, I love you. We'll go out whenever I get back. I'm leaving for a couple days. I'm gonna stay with a buddy. I'm gonna be gone for like 3 or 4 days, and I'll come back. I'll come and get you, and we can go to like the mall or something, and go buy your birthday present. We can go shopping." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And I mean, she stayed at the door. She stayed behind the door. I mean, I said, "Hey, come in. You can come in." She's like, "No, I don't want to bother you." And I was in the middle of a mission, so I was like, "Just give me a second, like 10 seconds." She's like, "No, I have to go." And I will always regret that. I didn't do that because I remember her walking away and me finishing my mission, turning around and running out the door, going, "Hey, Lauren, come back, give me a hug before you leave so I can say bye." She'd already left. I remember having a feeling of that's the last time you're gonna talk to your sister. I remember having that feeling from God, be like, "Hey, I'm sorry." But I was like, oh, that's what I like, feeling stupid. Like, I'll go upstairs, I'll play some video games, it'll go away. Like, I'll see her in a couple of days. The next day, she was out with her ex-boyfriend, Connor Burner, and they're on and off all the time, but so they were out, as far as we know, looking at houses, or looking at apartments to move into, and they got into a dispute over something, and they were in Connor's car, and I guess Connor had told her to get out of the car in the middle of the argument, and Lauren didn't. My sister was very stubborn, but she did not get out of the car, and he ended up going, "Get out of the car, or I'll shoot you." She probably said, "Do it." That's just how stubborn my sister was, and he did it. And he took her body and put it in a recycling bin, and went to work like nothing happened. And I love her. And
This is the room where Lauren Kidd grew up.
It was one of Lauren's favorites. She's carried this with her everywhere she went.
Now, a little more than 3 months after Lauren's murder, her mom has turned the space into a hideaway for Lauren's daughter Addison, pulling out all of Lauren's childhood toys and furniture and dress-up clothes so little Addie can have a space to grow up in, where she can have fun and remember her mom.
Lauren used to dress up in this like it was a Cinderella skirt, and Addison loves it. She wears it now. It fits her perfectly.
Police say Lauren's ex-boyfriend, Connor Brunner, admitted to killing Lauren and putting her body in a recycling bin. Officers checked the bin and say they found blood, but not Lauren's body. They've been searching through a paper mill in McCurtain County for evidence.
It's a horrible visual thought in your mind that your daughter would be in that place.
Krista says detectives found an item Lauren was either wearing or carrying the day she was murdered, but the search for Lauren's body continues. Instead of focusing on the answers they don't have, Krista says she's trying to remember the time she did have with her daughter.
We know she's not here anymore. We know that there is not anything that we can do about that. We will never not miss her. She had so much of a future ahead of her. And I'm sorry that was taken away.
Out of bed, but we need to. We've got to.
A mother's fight to move forward after losing her daughter
We could have buried her.
and finding redemption among the flowers.
I am more help to these people right here to let them know we've all experienced a tragedy. I'm going to help you with this. We're going to get through it. We've got a job to do, and we can do it.
Oklahoma's own News on 6 starts now.
First at 10 o'clock, it has been 8 months since a mother lost her Broken Arrow daughter. And tonight she is sharing her story of pushing through the pain even without closure.
Police say Lauren Kidd's ex-boyfriend admitted to killing her and putting her body in a recycling bin. News on 6's Sawyer Bussey sat down with Lauren's mom, who still hasn't been able to bury her daughter. Sawyer.
Brian and Terry, police say that they found DNA but not Lauren's body. Lauren's mom tells me that what she's found here at A New Leaf, helping these clients find purpose and healing, has helped her find her own.
When we come through those gates, everything out there is gone.
There is a rhythm to healing,
I tell the clients, this fence line this is our world here.
a truth to it. That truth is that sometimes when you go looking for healing,
Cherokee and I have been working with on soft hands, being gentle with the plants.
you might just find it in unexpected places.
Look at that. I love it. Okras.
It can be a hands-on process. You have to be brave enough to sort through the grit,
All right, put some dirt in there.
to pull the weeds, let the dead things go.
Now we can start bringing it back to life.
That is what Krista Kidd is finding here, working at A New Leaf. Healing. The slow and steady kind, the day at a time kind, the might just take a lifetime kind.
It's just a joy. There's struggles. There's sometimes nobody wants to work. I get that. Sometimes I might struggle to get out of bed, but we need to.
Krista is working through her grief, through her court dates alongside clients at A New Leaf as they work through their own traumas. The hope is, on your journey to healing, you might just find yourself tending to life in a way you never have before. And maybe, just maybe, the flowers will start to grow again.
And so I understand that you're going to be dealing with death. In the meantime, we have life. And where there is death, there is life.
Now, Lauren's ex-boyfriend, Connor Brunner, has pleaded not guilty to Lauren's murder. A judge has found that there is enough evidence to stand trial. They will hash out whether his confession can be used in court next week. Live in Broken Arrow, Sawyer Bussey, Oklahoma's own News on.
A Broken Arrow man convicted of murdering his ex-girlfriend is going to learn his fate in court today. Police say Connor Brunner shot and killed 21-year-old Lauren Kidd in 2018. Investigators say he dumped her body in a recycling bin. The jury is recommending Connor serve life with the possibility of parole.
It's still hard to believe that she's gone, and just kind of wait for that moment, you know, maybe the next part of closure.
While I'll never give TJ Kidd his daughter back, he's confident a jury will find Connor Brunner guilty of murdering 21-year-old Lauren Kidd.
His confession, his statements, is the reason why we were able to find Lauren's body and find traces and be able to track it down to Valiant. If it wouldn't have been for that, we may have still been chasing the missing persons.
Around Halloween last year, Lauren went missing. Her boyfriend Brunner later admitted to police he shot and killed her, then dumped her body in a recycling bin. But before the murder trial began, that confession went under fire. During a hearing, a Tulsa County judge ruled his confession can be used in trial.
There's things I don't know if I agreed with the way it was handled, but I'm not law enforcement, and they are, so they did the things they thought was right at the time.
Brunner's defense saying the shooting was an accident after Lauren wouldn't get out of his car. Kidd says there's no chance.
They kind of have to come up with something, but for him to say it was an accident when he obviously had a gun on him and she didn't.
With the early stages of the trial here, the possibility of some sort of sense of relief is keeping Kidd hopeful.
Because we're getting closer to the time to put Connor away for what he did.
So, Connor is now in prison. He is sitting currently in a medium security prison, which means for drug dealers. He was in maximum for about 2 years. He moved 2 months ago over to the medium. He has a chance to get to go to a medium security prison, minimum security prison, 6 to 7 years, which is mainly for unpaid parking tickets. Stupid. I don't agree with it. I can't say anything about it. in the case of Lauren, we did have a celebration of life for her because we all loved her, obviously. The celebration of life was more for her daughter, Addison. That was a little paper or that little news clip that you saw. With a celebration of life for her daughter, Addison. Her daughter, Addison, was 4 whenever Lauren died. She's now 5, about to be 6 in March. She's the best positive ball of light ever. You would never know, but she's very smart. So she figured out about Lauren very quickly. She may not have known that something had happened or what had happened, but she knew that something had happened. She knew that her mother was gone. We made sure it wasn't like she was abandoned or anything. We never wanted her to have that feeling. We explained it, but not explained it. I mean, she was 4. It's kind of hard to explain. Hey, like, this happened. Like, that's not very easy to explain. Obviously, this isn't very something easy to handle. As a 16, 17-year-old kid, my family was going through a divorce for the last 6 to 7 years. They've been arguing, fighting all the time. They finally got a divorce. Last September, they finally split apart. My dad went to jail for something that he didn't do, but we're just not going to get into that. I lived with Brandon Barwick, if you know him, for about 3 months-ish. And as we went to football and everything. Through this, you really wouldn't know that I had much going on. I really wasn't very secluded. I mean, I kind of secluded myself a little bit from people. But I was always, hey, let's go. Let's go. I was a positive person. I'm always in stuff. I'm involved in everything I could get involved in to distract myself. So I mean, I was never home. I was always gone because my parents were always fighting and stuff. So I was never home. Probably wasn't a smart decision in the long run because now stuff happened that I was there for that I really needed a person to have been there in a medium and like a middle standard. I do have a younger brother, but he was very partial to my mom. He was with my mom 100%. So they're living together. I live with my dad. We are struggling, but we're getting through. My greatest, I owe everything that I've come up to God, because He has put me in great positions to pull myself out of bad situations, so I wasn't in bad situations. Best one I can think of is football. Obviously, Coach Cochran was an amazing, positive person in my life. He was always like there for me no matter what. I maybe didn't talk a lot, but he was there if I needed to. My teammates were amazing, even though maybe all of them didn't know. They're even little conversations, little positivity, not knowing, helped me more if they had known, because I didn't like people knowing because they gave me this sense of empathy. I hate empathy. I hate sympathism. I hate people are sympathetic to you when they know stuff like this, and I hate that. I wanted football was my place I could go that everything went away. No one really knew except for my wide receivers, and most of them moved on because most of them were seniors. So it was pretty much mostly my grade and a couple guys that were juniors, and most of them even forgot or just didn't know. It's pretty much just my class that knew that would really talk with me and consider it. And I was like, that's good. But it was also that not knowing that, like, put us all into and pushed me to keep going. I mean, it was our championship season, whatever it happened, that we won the championship. That has nothing to do with it. But I saw it as, hey, I had many people come up to me and go, Dustin, you don't have to play this week. Like, you don't dress out. We don't expect you to come to practice, especially whenever it made it happen. They're like, go home and be with your family. And I'm like, no. I was like, I don't want to be with my family. I don't want to be anywhere near my family right now. I want to be on the field. Like, that's my happy place. That's where my distraction lies. So let's go out there and win a championship for her. And Logan Matthews looked at me and goes, dang, this got personal and real. I was like, yes, Logan, it did. Let's get on the field. Brendan Seegers is an amazing person to me. He showed me a role model. Not quite a role model, but he showed me someone I could look up to. Not that I wanted to be, but kind of a light. He showed me a light that not many people had or that could show me.